Hello everyone, welcome back. So yes, it's another poker video. So you have to be saying to yourself, yes, he does have an obsessive behavior when it comes to crafting things. And I kind of do. I know I probably said this before, and there'll probably be a lot of babbling in this video, but when I start to create something, if I really like it, um, I'll try to perfect the way I do it and try different ways, and um, that's most certainly the case with the pokers. Um, so I think I'm up to 9 pokers. Way more pokers than any one guy needs. So the original idea behind the poker was to forge what they call a turkey foot or spurred poker. I watch Black Bear Forge a lot, and John, he forge weld the end. What they do is they'll taper out the end, they'll bend this over, forge weld it, and then taper the point, and you end up with basically what they call a turkey spur or a turkey foot. Um, I wanted to do that, but I really didn't think I'd be able to maintain the forging temperature in my little charcoal coffee can forge. I know I could get it up to temperature for forging and stuff, but to have that consistent forging temperature, I thought was going to be very, very tricky, and I didn't want to attempt it. I will do that in the future when I can either get a real forge or use maybe real coal. So if you ever watch Forged in Fire, you'll see that those professional blacksmiths, they even have problems sometimes getting a good forge weld. So I ended up making them straight, and there was a few reasons for that. Number one, I didn't have to do a forge weld. Number two, I watched Bruce over at Fab Creations, oh fabulous brother, use a piece of pipe to pick up, I think it was his manger or it might have been the other big one. The name slips me. But he basically slipped the pipe into the holes on the side, and he was able to pick it up. Now, I don't know about you all, but anyone who's got a manger, if you try to move it, especially right after it was just on fire, it's hot. But having something to stick in the middle of it is absolutely the coolest thing. And the way Bruce made these, they're perfectly balanced. So all of that said, yeah, the straight ones are going to be great, okay? I'm not going to do anything with a hook. And Becca had mentioned, oh, it would be cool with a hook. And I was explaining to her, you know, as far as trying to do it, it really wasn't like cost effective if I was going to sell them. And, you know, blah, 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 blah. You know, we all make excuses. So my brain is going. Oh, by the way, I sell tickets to Inside My Brain. And you could get in there, but you got to sign a waiver because you may not ever get out. I told you there was going to be some babbling going on. So I started to think about, can I weld a spur onto a poker? And again, I am very, 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 very amateuristic. Is that a word? I'm an amateur welding. I've only welded 2 things. One worked perfectly. The other one fell apart after a day or 2. So I said, man, but I really would like to make a turkey spur one. And I said, yeah, but then if I have a spur, I'm not going to be able to stick it in the holes in the manger. Like I said, there's rides available. So I was watching a bunch of videos. I must have watched, over the course of a couple years, at least 20 different videos on the Harbor Freight wire welder to try to figure out what I was doing wrong, because I know the concept of welding, but I just couldn't get it to work. I mean, the wire would come flying out. I was getting spatter all over the place. I wasn't getting good puddles. And then finally, probably about 2 or 3 days ago, I watched a guy, I think it was titled something like Hacks for the Harbor Freight Welder. And one of the hacks was the answer to my problem. Okay? What he did was, I should have pulled the welder out, but I got it buried right. I put it back underneath my sink over there. But at the end of the welder, the wand, there's a nozzle. And he said this nozzle is only needed if you're using gas. And the flux core welder 90 amp that I have does not use gas. He said, so you don't need this. He says it causes you to have too much wire out, or you can't see what you're doing. And I was like, Eureka! That was a game changer. I took the nozzle off. Now, instead of the tip being, 3/4 of an inch wide, it was now only a 1/4 inch wide. Instead of, 1.25 inch wire hanging out the end, there was only a 1/4 of an inch wire. I could see what I was doing. I did a bunch of practice welds. I was able to get some good puddles. Again, nowhere near, hey, you're a welder kind of guy. Total amateur backyard welder guy. And I said, you know what? I think I'm going to attempt to do it. So, let me reset this camera, and I'll show you what I got. All right, so here it is. My version of a turkey foot, turkey spur polka. Oh, did I mention that I was going back and forth with Becker? I don't want to leave that out. I probably did, but I did say there'll be a lot of babbling, and I did say there were rides. Don't forget that. Man, today's one of them days. My brain is going in 75 different directions, all at the same time. All right. So here it is. I cut a piece of the same bar. I ground it down. I heated it up, and I bent it into this spur. Any of you that hunt turkeys or have turkeys or saw turkeys' legs, you'll notice that that looks just like a turkey spur. And I welded this all the way around. Now, is it perfect? No. Is it the best welding job I ever did? Yes, it is. I got a couple little spots, and I was going to obsess over it, and I was going to fill every single little tiny spot, and I said, that's just pretty much a waste of time. I mean, this is a one-off. This is the 9th one I made, I think I said. Yeah, the 9th one. I'll be honest with you, it's probably going to be the only one that's going to have this. It's going to be a one-of-a-kind. But if you look at it, I think I did a pretty good job. I'm very, very pleased with it. I mean, it's on there, rock solid. I got good penetration. I did do a lot of filing. It probably took me about an hour to weld that on and make it look like that. For those of you that weld, you could have probably done it in 5 minutes, but I'm an amateur. So it's basically the same as the other ones. Got a brass pin, antler, handle, and I added the beads and the leather on it. And you may say to yourself, well, you're not going to be able to fit that into the manger to pick it up. And that was another reason why I didn't want to put spurs on it. So Bruce, I hope you don't mind. I hope you don't think I desecrated the manger, but I had to make a little mod to it. So check it out. The spur. Oh yeah. So I could use this in the same way I did with the other one. Let me show you what I did. Right there. So I basically just cut out a little section there, made it sort of looks like a keyhole now, as opposed to on this side, whoop, yeah, it'd be easier if I just take it apart and show you. So instead of having the round hole, we have the keyhole. And that enables me to fit the spur through. So I was totally stoked when I came up with that idea, because I was like, oh, I'm going to have a nice spur, but I can't stick it in the manger and move the manger. So now I can. All right. One last thing. I said, well, I can't fit this in the Hickamore holder that I have now because it has a spur. I could probably make another one, but I said, you know what? That the original one's been out quite a long time. Rainstorms. Now it's not out in the rain, but it's out on the patio. Rainstorms, 175,000% humidity like we get in Florida, and there's no rust on it. So I decided I had one other blacksmith hook that I had found in that tool chest. If I can get it out of there. This one's a little different than the other one, a little smaller, but I cleaned this one up also, and I treated the screw to make it look old. And I'm going to use this hook with this poker. I have like a little shelf that I made on the back wall of the patio to have some plants on. I'm going to screw this on there. I'm going to hang it right there because it's very close to where I do the Fire It Up Fridays and stuff. So I'm extremely pleased with the way everything came out. I got myself my Toiki. I got a Toiki. So I have my turkey spur poker. I got my little blacksmith hook. So that's going to go on the wall, on the shelf back there, and you'll be seeing this in action, and that's about it. So yeah. So there you have it, my turkey spur poker and my little blacksmith hook, and that's going to probably be the last one I make for quite a while because I have achieved what I wanted to do. So I'm confident that I got to where I needed to be. So there you go. So hope you found it useful. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to say it. I'm sending you all much, much love and appreciation, my brothers and sisters. I hope you all are staying well. I hope you all are having a wonderful day. And again, thank you for coming along, and we'll see you on the next one.